Namaskar. I, Krishna Kumar Mishra, welcome you in daily weather briefing from India Meteorological Department. Highlights of today's daily weather briefing are that cold wave and cold day conditions over parts of northwest India and over entire Madhya Pradesh are very likely to abate gradually from tomorrow onwards, that is 29th January, and disappear completely from 30th of January. And the second major highlight of the coming week about weather situation is that uh, uh, there is a likelihood of a wet spell over northwest, east, and northeast India beginning from 2nd of February and moving eastwards and finishing over northeast India by 5th of February. Details of this wet spell we are just going to see. And if you look into today's synoptic system, then western disturbance of a very feeble western disturbance is running roughly along 54-degree longitude to the north of 33-degree latitude, and it is likely to move east northeastwards and cause just isolated light rainfall and snowfall over Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh till 1st of February, and then from 2nd of February there is another WD approaching likely, which would cause weather which we are just going to discuss. And there is another trough roughly along 88-degree longitude to the north of 25-degree latitude. If you look into observed weather during past 24 hours, then the minimum temperatures and maximum temperature are below normal by 4 to 6 degrees centigrade over Madhya Pradesh, and also the minimum temperatures are below normal by 4 to 6 degrees centigrade over Marathwada and Vidarbha, and by 2 to 4 degrees centigrade over Haryana, UP, Rajasthan, and Odisha. Maximum temperatures are below normal by 4 to 6 degrees centigrade over East UP and adjoining parts of West Uttar Pradesh, and over Chhattisgarh and Bihar, and below normal by 2 to 4 degrees centigrade over Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Odisha. Since yesterday morning, strong surface winds of the order of 10 to 20 kmph are prevailing over the plains of Punjab, Haryana, North Rajasthan, northern parts of MP, and Uttar Pradesh. As a result of all these, as a cumulative effect of all these conditions, severe cold day conditions have been observed over, have been continuing to prevail over east and adjoining West Uttar Pradesh, and also cold day conditions in most parts of Madhya Pradesh, with severe cold day conditions in isolated pockets of Madhya Pradesh. And also the cold day conditions have been observed over Bihar and Vidarbha, and in some parts, in few pockets, and in isolated pockets over East Rajasthan. As far as cold wave conditions are concerned, so as we have seen that Madhya Pradesh is reporting both cold day and cold wave conditions with severe conditions also. So cold wave conditions also are the West MP and Vidarbha have reported at many places with severe cold wave in isolated places. And cold wave to severe cold wave conditions in isolated pockets have been observed over East Rajasthan, and only cold wave conditions have been observed over East MP, and in many parts and in isolated pockets over Punjab, Haryana, Saurashtra and Kutch, and North Marathwada. We say that there is cold wave condition being observed over a subdivision if the minimum temperatures are less than 10 degrees centigrade, and their departure from normal is less than minus 4.5 degrees centigrade. Similarly, cold day conditions are said to occur over a subdivision if the maximum temperature departures are below normal by 4 to below normal by 4 to 4.5 degrees centigrade, and along with that minimum temperatures are less than 10 degrees centigrade. So these severe cold wave conditions have prevailed over MP and adjoining areas. Now, if we come over to the next 5 days weather warning, then as we can see in this graphic, 5-day weather warning graphic, then we can see that we have given orange color for East Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and East UP. So this orange color is for the prevalence of further prevalence of cold day and cold wave conditions over these areas, which would subside from tomorrow, when we have only given yellow color, tomorrow 29th of January. So there will be only cold day conditions and cold wave conditions over these areas. And from 30th January, all these areas, the cold day and cold wave conditions would abate, and although isolated pockets, cold wave conditions would prevail over East Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. And from 31st January onwards, there would be no cold day and cold wave conditions. As far as dense fog conditions are concerned, so today only Dehradun and Lucknow, only isolated stations have reported dense fog conditions. So these dense fog conditions are likely to continue during next 24 hours in the night or early morning hours of Uttarakhand and East UP, but no large scale dense fog conditions are likely during next 5 days. Although over Assam and Meghalaya and Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura, the dense fog conditions in isolated pockets are likely to be continued during next 2 days. So these cold day and cold wave conditions are likely to abate from gradually abate from tomorrow onwards, because the maximum temperatures and minimum temperatures are likely to rise by minimum temperatures are likely to rise by 4 to 6 degrees centigrade till 3rd of February, and they will fall from 4th of February, and the maximum temperatures are likely to rise by 2 to 4 degrees centigrade till 2nd of February, which would rise from 3rd of February onwards over northwest India as well as central India. Now, this was the scenario for 5 days, and now we come over to the main weather event which is approaching, and which we have been discussing since last 2-3 days in our daily weather briefing, that an active western disturbance is very likely to affect northwest India from 2nd February onwards. This active western disturbance is very likely to cause fairly widespread rainfall and snowfall during 2nd to 4th of February over Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Gilgit, Baltistan, Muzaffarabad, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. And on 3rd of February, there is likelihood of isolated heavy rainfall and snowfall over Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Gilgit, Baltistan, Muzaffarabad. And if we come over to the adjoining plains of Punjab, Haryana, North Rajasthan, West UP, and northern parts of MP, then here also there is likelihood of scattered to fairly widespread light to moderate rainfall during 2nd to 3rd of February over these areas, over the areas of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, West UP, and North Madhya Pradesh. And since there is easterly winds are in likely to be in confluence with the southwesterly winds associated with this likely western disturbance. So this weather would also be caused over East India and Northeast India. So during 3rd to 4th of January, there is likelihood of fairly widespread rainfall, and with isolated hailstorms over East Uttar Pradesh, over northern parts of Chhattisgarh, Northeast Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, and Gangetic Gangetic West Bengal, and Sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim, and also over Assam and Meghalaya, over Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura, and Arunachal Pradesh. So this weather would reach over East UP and Bihar on 3rd of night, and would further progress into Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Sikkim, and Assam and Meghalaya and NMMT from 4th of night, and then it would have its remnant effect on Northeast India also on 5th of January, on 5th of February also. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will again meet with Delhi weather briefing for weather warning during next 5 to 7 days. Thank you and goodbye.